Please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance.
Second here.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Meeting will come to order.
One second.
Okay, thank you all for coming. First up, our announcements, and the first one is to please silence those cell phones. I know I have to check mine all the time as well. Let's see, next is, let me get there. The streetlights. So we've had an announcement on the data report for 2 days as far as the city not taking over the streetlight maintenance anymore. And a diligent homeowner, I believe is going to speak in homeowner input, homeowner forum, gave us some documentation that the Belarus CFD did pay for them. So we are working with legal counsel to determine who is going to be ultimately responsible for that, if the city's going to keep that maintenance or if the association will have to take that over. As far as the election update, only 3 districts are under quorum, District 10, District 16, and District 18. 10 and 16 are only a percentage point or 2 away from reaching quorum, which is great. And 18 will be once the builder signs all the ballots for quorum that they have, which is quite a few. As far as no passing, I had a couple of reports in the last week of people going on Four Seasons Circle and trying to turn left and somebody trying to pass them while they're turning left. So please be careful with that. Please do not pass people on Four Seasons Circles. One way going up, one way going down. And then also my monthly reminder to please slow down and yield, which kind of goes hand in hand to not passing somebody as they're turning left, which is kind of can be dangerous. So next is the homeowner input. As a reminder, it's limited to 3 minutes per homeowner, and only one request to speak form may be submitted per homeowner. There will be no sharing or passing of time to another person. Homeowner input may be held for a maximum period of 30 minutes. Before the board meeting begins, to allow the board to proceed with the business portion of the meeting. The business portion of the meeting is limited to board participation only. Residents are welcome and encouraged to stay for the full meeting to witness the business of the corporation taking place by your government meetings. And like I said, I've got one request to speak for, Mr. Melvin.
Well, maybe I can discuss it. All of the homeowners, at least I understand all of the homeowners, received upon looking into buying and receiving their home, they received a builder assessment and tax disclosure. Very important that you all read this, because this very subject we're talking about now, the streets, is covered in that, along with all the other duties that the city supposedly has taken on to receive the millions of dollars that they've gotten out of the district bonds, which were to run 30 years and be paid off, which now we're finding out there's exceptions to that. But anyway, in here it specifies the responsibilities of the city, not only for the initial facilitation, but the maintenance, of which the lighting is one of them. It was never comprehended in our budgets. I was on the committee, the finance committee, as chairman 4 years, 9.5 years total. We never had $1 in there for this. To get a frame of reference, I live on a cul-de-sac, Chimney Rock. Only 10 homes here. We pay every year for this tax $25,000. You multiply that times 180 at build out, you can imagine the amount of money that's gone in to the city. If they try to walk away from this like they tried to do on other things, one, look at the roads that we have here, which are a disgrace, and the corruption that we've seen in the past. If we don't keep our eyes open, we're gonna eat more and more of this kind of, I don't know what, I better stop. But anyway, it's very important that you read this. Those are your rights and you're paying for it. Believe me, you're paying for it. All right, thank you.
Thank you, Bob. With no other request to speak for us, we'll move on to the next item on the agenda, which is the consent calendar. The purpose of the consent calendar is to make a single motion to approve all included items. If for a particular reason an item needs to be discussed or pulled from the consent calendar, then a call to remove that item should be made by a board member. And in the consent calendar are the reports from March 14th and March 18th. Approval of the lien for account number BE-6310-1272-01 in the amount of $1,361.90. 3 club group applications and 11 different facility use applications.
Make a motion to accept the consent calendar.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded to approve the consent calendar. All those in favor? Question?
I got a question. On the facilities use applications, I see 4 of them in here that we're supposed to approve, but it looks like they've already been done.
I believe that they were included in addition to last month's. So they were approved last month, they were done last month, and we left them on there for good measure.
Okay, thank you.
Okay. All those in favor?
Aye.
Motion carries.
Next is a report on the executive session or action taken during meetings. The board held an executive session this morning in the RCN conference room. We had 6 homeowners that were called to hearing for delinquencies. One is paid in full, and others are working towards that. We had 2 member violation hearings. One is closed, and one is we're working with the owner. Contracts. The board renewed interstate sweeping for a yearly contract cost of $9,780, which is no change to the contract cost. The board reviewed legal issues and personnel issues. And with that, we will go on to committee reports. The first report is from the ad hoc operation area.
Good afternoon, board, friends, neighbors. I'll make this really quick. The ad hoc off-leash rules committee has basically done its prime deliverable, which is the rules and the application packet for use of the off-leash area. We are still waiting on a resolution. There's a little back and forth going on with the gas company. It's good. It's all dialoguing. But we're going to, out of respect for everybody's time on the committee, they're pretty serious and dedicated folks. Out of respect for their time, we're going to hold off a bit until we have a little bit more from the gas company, maybe a green light. We'll have plenty of time to do anything that's left while hopefully fences are going up. We hope. But we're going to have a little hiatus here. So you probably won't be seeing me for at least a month or 2. So short and sweet. Thank you.
Thank you, Martha. Next is the architectural committee. Steve.
It seems real routine, but basically what we do is not. But what we report back is, we list our guests, the new applications, the addendums, the Exhibit A, which is the express, and the Cs, which are completions. We have really slowed down, and I think it's because of all the rain. We're anticipating jumping back in with both feet. Obviously, the number of homes that are being built out is going to come to an end here shortly, but we will still have the addendums, which are the changes that people make as they roll along. Things are looking good, looking nice. We've got it to where the homeowners understand that if they come or they're available to take a phone call, it's much easier and it's flowing even smoother than it has. Again, we welcome everybody to come to our meeting, see what's going on, see what we're doing. John shows up to our meetings, but maybe our board members that just kind of want to see what's going on, pop in. We do have 3 or 4 contractors that are there all the time. We have one new one who's becoming quite active in our community, and he's bringing in some different concepts and ideas. But it's kind of fun to see that, kind of fun to see new homeowners that come in, just kind of overwhelmed at what's going on and realize that when all is said and done, it's a very simple, straightforward process. And everybody leaves happy. And that's what we aim to do. Thanks.
Thank you, Steve. Next is the Communications Board. Lori.
Hi, I'm Lori Larson, Chair of the Communications Board, and we are doing really well. We have the same 8 members that we've had for just about 2 years. Everybody works really hard, and obviously we enjoy it. Once again, I'm going to invite you to send in pictures of your spring gardens. I think it's finally spring. I think I'm finally seeing some bees and some flowers. So if you want to submit your pictures, we'd love to print them. We are starting our treasure hunt on the website so that there will be a prize every month, and you can enter by going onto the website and looking for a little treasure chest icon. The purpose of this is to get people to be more familiar with how the website works, because it's really up to date, and we work really hard on it. And we are continuing our work on the year in review. So I've got 4 people who need board approval. I submitted their names. Larry Workman, who is our webmaster, he was on the communications committee. He needs to be changed over to the communications board. And then 3 new people who have gone to all of our meetings, 6 meetings, and gone through the process. We have 2 meetings a month. Our planning meeting is the first Wednesday of every month, and the proofing meeting is on the 10th of every month. So I haven't brought people in for approval before, so I'm not quite sure how I do this.
I'd like to make a motion to approve Larry Workman, Kathleen Allen, Mario Diaz, and Elizabeth Westbrook to the Communication Board as members.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded to approve 4 new members for the Communication Board listed above. Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Motion carries.
Well, thank you, that was painless.
We tried. Next is the Community Planning and Transition Board. Colin.
Good afternoon, Colin Taylor. We're continuing to work with the gas company for approval of the dog off-leash area. We're working on the annual and master plans, and of course the transition study, which is still scheduled for the end of this year. We're developing a list of underutilized areas and the restrictions and limitations that would apply to them for future uses. And until we know what the restrictions are, we really can't list what those uses might be. We're developing a rough order of magnitude cost estimate for a possible outdoor entertainment area in the centre there. And we're continuing to meet with solar power and solar thermal companies to look at the potential financial benefits. And we're developing plans for digitisation of all the construction drawings. Next meeting Thursday the 25th in Rec Centre North, and visitors are welcome.
Let me take a minute to add a few things. Go ahead and have a seat, Colin. That we're also doing at the board level to assist in the transition period. First, in reference to what Bob Melville brought up earlier, last month Eric and I met with the city manager and asked that he put together a memorandum between the city and the HOA as to what they think we're responsible for and what we're responsible for, so we can sit down together with them and make sure that we're all in agreement and that the documentation is in order. The next thing is you'll notice later in our meeting here today that we have a request to remove some trees from the landscape committee. Those of us who were here way back when, 2005, 6, and 7, know that this area was overplanted to give a curb appeal and attract new home buyers, and it worked. But now that these saplings have grown up, they're crowding each other out. So we've asked Lynette to put together a plan over the next 3 or 4 years to start thinning out some of these trees that need more elbow room. For instance, they planted 60 pine trees behind the bell tower. About 5, 6 years ago, we had that reduced by 50%, and a year or so ago, I think we even cut a few more out. There's still 2 more, or 3 more that probably should come out of there. Along Crooked Creek Drive, you'll see they overplanted there. They have another row of trees that have since been removed. Mostly in A and B phases is where you'll find these. So we'll be looking at that, and Lynette will put together a plan that makes sure we don't pay to trim a tree and then come back and pay to cut the tree down 6 months later. So it'll be phased in. The next item we're looking at is where are we going to have our truck entrance? And wherever that is, most likely it will be Crooked Creek. Should we have pavers there? Because we don't know the trucks be down on the pavers, and there's no point in having a truck entrance where we have to pay expensive costs to take care of what's coming in there. And finally, the other item we're looking at is we've gone to the builder and said, okay, you've had someone maintaining the area that we protect here, the Conservancy. Give us the statement of work that's already approved for that, so we don't have to reinvent the wheel and get new clearances and approvals. We can just take over the existing statement of work. So all those things are being done through and with the CP&T committee, and we're very active there. Okay.
Thank you. Next will be the Emergency Preparedness Committee. Mike.
Good afternoon, I'm Mike Mendoza, I'm Emergency Preparedness Chairman. First thing, I got charged by the board. Lynn wanted me to look into stop the bleed kits, possibly purchasing a few for the complex. I told him the one thing about stop the bleed kits, it's not like having an AED where you put it in place and you don't have to worry about it. They have a specific type of treated gauze that has to be replaced. I think the shelf life is only every 6 months, but I have a call into Simpler Life. I call Bob, and he's going to research it with some of his vendors and one of his guys, and they're going to try to find out if there's anything new on it. So maybe we can get some gauze that lasts longer, so we don't have to keep replacing or keep worrying about maintenance on that. We're going to look into sometime in the late summer, early fall, having an EMD presentation. I talked to Stacy Kelly from EMD, and she says, well, if I'm not retired and I'm still here, but then she's crossing over with other people, so somebody, I will be in contact with somebody over there, and we'll get somebody out here to speak about emergency preparedness pertaining to the HOA sometime later in the year. Right now, I'm preparing some paperwork to turn into the city, because I have a friend from Solera who got quizzed by Officer Ramos. Officer Ramos wanted some help on the CERT program over there. So he says, if you wanted to help, he said, do you want me to help? You want some help? And he asked if I wanted to help him. I said, well, sure, I'll go ahead. So I got paperwork I got to fill out and sign in and turn in. So hopefully we'll see it, and maybe we can try to, if I can work it, maybe we can get a couple trainings here a year, as far as opening up to the public also. And also, as usual, we're always looking for new members. And next Tuesday the 16th is our next meeting. And thank you very much.
Thank you, Mike. Next is the Facilities Committee. Bruce.
Good afternoon, Bruce Lewis. First, the new ADA door openers have been installed at the Summit Courts that are now in operation. And also, a new air conditioning unit was recently installed at the lodge and replaced when it was not functioning anymore, serving the bistro area. We also have a proposal in your packet today for the maintenance on 4 pool tables. We're replacing the cloth, the bumpers, some of the leather pockets on, etc. Also, we'd like to have a request to approve Jim Griffin as a new member of our facilities committee. He's attended the 3 meetings.
Make a motion to approve Jim Griffin to the facilities committee.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded to approve Jim Griffin as a new member of the Facilities Committee. Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Motion carries.
Thank you. And also, the facilities committee meets on the 2nd Wednesday of the month at 10 a.m. Thank you.
Thank you, Bruce. Next is the Finance Committee. Gary.
Good afternoon. Finances are looking really great. Again, just remember, it's only 2 months, but they're in control, and actually we're ahead of our spending right now, meaning we're not spending as much, but I want to put the caveat in. A lot of it has to do with utility costs. The way the budget is put together, it's divided, we take a number, say it's 12 is the cost, and divide it by 12, and $1 would go in each month. So our utilities, like for water, where we know our largest amount of water is consumed between May and September, is just equally divided. So we didn't use a lot of water in obviously January, February, and March. So our budget looks good, it's on track. Looking at the faults up there on payments, just to put the numbers in perspective, we have 12 homes out of over 1,700 built right now that are over $1,000 in owing money, in behind payments. And overall, including the people that are over slated, meaning less than 1,000, we have 17 homes. It's really good. I mention this each month because it's something to be really, really aware of in the community. You need that coming in, and our people do a good job. We will be having a full on-site reserve study. For those not familiar, we have a study every year where they just review the documents, and every 3 years you do a full. That's a full inventory of everything we have, the chandeliers, the speakers, the rugs, the chairs you're sitting on, throughout the entire facility. And we'll be coming up with that. And we're looking forward to that as a committee, and I imagine the board is, to see where we stand right now as far as all the items identified that we own and will have to take care of. And do we have adequate funding for those items? And there's a lot of question, because if you look out there, there's instances of people reporting that there's inadequacies in reserve funding, even though you think you're adequately funded. And we're starting to see that with some of the items we're replacing. We're replacing items. We have a cost fixed in there that it should be the amount, and we're over when the bill comes in. So we want to really get a good picture on that. I have a piece of bright news here I'd like to share with everybody. At the end of last year, we were getting a contract in for our maintenance men, our handymen. We have 2 of them that roam the grounds here and do whatever Sapphire and Eric need them to do. We got the contract in, and we looked at it and said, wow, that's a lot of money for 2 people. So First Services looked at the idea of, well, can we bring them in and hire them as full-time employees? And the result's up there. We will save $77,000 this year by hiring them full-time. So that's something the Finance Committee looks at, that's something your board's looking at. It's easy to spend money when it's coming in all the time. It's another thing to make sure you're spending the right amount of money on the things that you do. We have 1 opening on the Finance Committee. I implore people to at least come to our meeting and maybe participate. And our next meeting is April 30th. Thank you.
Thank you, Barry. Next is the Landscape Committee. Lynette.
Lynette Simonson, Chairman of the Landscape Committee. Good afternoon, Board of Directors. It's my great pleasure to ask the approval of Nanette Scott to be our newest landscape committee member. She's attended the required number of walks and meetings, and I ask for your approval of Nanette Scott to the landscape committee.
I move to approve Nanette Scott, the landscape committee.
I'll second.
Been moved and seconded to approve the member of the landscape committee. Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
She's going to be a great member. And so thank you. Your landscape committee is tasked with keeping our place looking trim and neat, and our plantings. This is spring and we've had an incredible rain and everything is busted out in color. Some of our hedges that just are green all year round are showing flowers and other colors. So what our landscapers recommend doing is that during the blooming season, we will not do trimming. So they're going to get a little not quite so trim, but after the bloom is gone and we've enjoyed that beauty, we will be trimming back to more structured looks. And our emeritus chairman of the landscape committee, Lynn, advised me of what they have done in the past, and so we're right in tune with continuing to keep our landscape looking trim and neat, where these wonderful, magnificent pines have gotten so huge or clustered too close together that it destroys the rest of the impact. So prudent removal of those trees is what we're after, and I feel like I'm an associate member of the Finance Committee because we're going to work so closely with them with the regular trimming schedule of the trees versus removing them, which is much more costly. And just so you'll know what our landscapers are doing when they do cut down a tree, where possible, we will cut the tree trunk clear to ground level and let those roots and stump continue to provide nutrients to the soil. As well as we will selectively pull out trees so the visual is still beautiful and trim and we get to see all the beauty of our landscape. We walk every Friday. If you would like to join our merry group of landscape walkers, fill out an application. We'd love to have you join our committee, and we meet on the third Tuesday at 1 p.m. at the RCN.
Thanks, Lynette. Next is the Rules and Regulations Committee. Barbara.
We continue to review the clubs, groups, and class in our community guidelines, pages 4, 5, and 6, as needed with Cindy Graves, our activity director. We'll be reviewing the guidelines for the fall and spring boutique, reviewing guidelines for caregivers, and I encourage all the delegates to encourage their residents to vote for the CCNR election. We are still short and we cannot open the envelopes until we receive 80% of all ballots. Rules and Reg meets on the second Tuesday of the month. We did not meet this past Tuesday because Eric and Sapphire were committed to other activities, and we will be meeting this Friday at 3 o'clock. But we do need to leave promptly at 4 should you be able to attend the meeting. Thank you.
Thank you, Barbara. Next is the Safety Committee. Next is the Social Committee. Which we send in.
And I'll do it.
And the Technical Operations Board, are you doing that?
Oh, Mark, we have Mark. Where are you, Mark?
Thank you.
Oh,
Hi.
Caught me by surprise, zipping through.
yeah.
Good afternoon, my name is Mark Lassen, and I'm the chairman of the Amphitheater Committee and a member of the Tech Ops Board, so I'm going to be going through this today. First thing I'd like to talk about is the 2018 Summer Concert Series. Number one is we had some electrical issues, which some of you that attended it might have heard, and thanks to Stan and Andy on the Tech Ops Board, we're all ready to go for the 2019 season. Last year, total attendance was a remarkable 1,154 fun-loving, music-loving residents of the Four Seasons. I think that was a great turnout. I'd also like to add that the bands that we signed last year, we received a total of $4,000 in discounts from their normal performance fee. Part of the reason is because a lot of the musicians really love playing here. They love the way we treat them, and we've got a good reputation in the musical community. So we're getting the absolute best bands for the lowest amount of money that I can weasel out of them. The 2019 concert season. All the contracts have been signed, all the bands have been signed from May through September. We're going to have a nice variety of music. We're going to start off with the 60s, Four Seasons, Beach Boys, Beatles, Sonny and Cher, that kind of music. We're going to have a band that's going to come in and play soul music, Motown, and disco. We're going to have a band. This is kind of interesting because the night that we do our August concert is the 50th anniversary, the exact night of Woodstock. It is also Woodstock 50 is playing in New York the exact same night. So we have a band called the Who Experience who are going to do a great Who show. An aside is, for those of you that are Who fans, one of their famous songs is My Generation. And there's a line in there that says, I hope I die before I get old. I advise their manager to possibly take that line out of the song. It might not go over too good. And we are planning a special event with some special surprises for the 50th anniversary of Woodstock, August 18th. Lastly, the amphitheater issues. The Tech Ops group and the amphitheater have been working, Colin and I have been talking back and forth. We're discussing and working with the CPT group on addressing some of the issues that our current amphitheater has, such as lines of sight seating. If you remember last August when we had the Santana tribute band, we had over 400 people in Grant. They were sitting in the bushes. I mean, they were just sitting everywhere. So further activities planned, and that's all I got to say today. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mark. And Nita's not here, it's not the community ambassador, so we'll go on to our activities director report with Cindy. Trying to give you a good read, Cindy. Yeah.
Okay. Oh, jeez. Come on, Nellie.
Oh my God. Oh
Who is that girl? Okay, let's see. Spring Boutique. Yay! Was fantastic. Thank you to all who came to shop and all of you creative crafters that came to participate. It was a huge success, and of course the ever diligent Barbara Miller and our trustee operations coordinator Nellie helped make that happen big time. So thank you much. Want to let you know, guess what? Contrary to popular belief regarding fashion shows and being sold out, pull these off, we had 20 tickets left during the first week, right? So guess what? Right now, as of today, we have 9, and social committee is deciding that if we do sell those 9 tickets, then, and there's a waiting list that starts, then we may add an additional 1 to each table so that more people can join in. But right now, we're not sold out, people. So think about it. It's only $30, and it's June 1st. And as usual, it will be a total blast. Great food, and it's going to be really pretty because of the whole floral theme. So, and I've screwed it up, right, Vivian? When I talked about the vendor who's going to do the clothes, it isn't Coldwater Creek, it is Chico's. So that's a lot of fun, all different variety of clothing, fashion, and sizes. So I dare to come. All right, HOA garage sale is happening on Saturday, April 27th from 9 a.m. to 2 p.m. everywhere in the community. If you're brand new, it's huge, it's big. We have tons of people coming in, buying all of your most treasured items. So jack up the price, and you know, as I usually say, there's plenty of millionaires to be made on that day. So get your stuff out there. Yes?
What is cut off? Last day to sign up, April 2nd, it says, which we passed. What's cut off here?
Where is it? Oh, last day to sign up for the garage sale. It's not April 2nd, it's supposed to be Sunday, April 21st, right? Because we have to make the maps and all that. Yeah, so, and Nellie spends, it's all very tedious. We don't have a program for it. She is our program. So it's a big deal. And I want to let you know, make sure that you decide not to ride on the shirt tails of your neighbor who legitimately got a garage sale permit. And we have had people who have decided, you know, I think I will have one after all, right? And it's past the deadline. So what they do is say, my neighbor has paid and they're on the map, so I'll just open my garage and I'll just have my own garage sale. Which is all fine and dandy until Beaumont fundraising comes around called code enforcement, right? And they ask for your permit, which we will call you, by the way, if you're legitimate, which of course everyone is. It's just the rare person who would even think of such a thing. But we will call you and we'll have you pick up your permit so that you have on site, so that should Beaumont decide to do a little fundraising the next day, you will have yours legitimately posted somewhere on your whatever, and you can show them. All right, so discourage your friends because you don't want them to get a fine because they're riding on your shirt tails. But it is funny. Just don't. All right. Club, group, and classes. Step It Up Line Dancing is having a barn burner dance April 19th at 5 p.m. in the ballroom. Everyone is welcome. Be sure to bring a potluck dish to share. Janine, the instructor, says that even if you don't dance, you're more than welcome to come out and enjoy the music, food, and fun. And that is a great one. And then the country line dancing group is saying that if you can't get enough dancing and your shoes are yelling for more, be sure to go to the line dance sock-off on Friday, April 26th in the ballroom from 5 p.m. to 8:30 p.m. This is not a potluck, so feel free to buy your dinners at the bistro or bring your own. Line dancing will be providing cups. Fancy. So, yeah, make sure you bring your plates, just in case. And then karaoke will be happening on Saturday, April 20th at 5 p.m. So, John.
Yes.
Let's see, what was it? 2 months ago, we had a question regarding the fact that it was going to be at 5, and now last month, Jerry was saying, no, it's going to be at 5:30. What do you want it to be?
5 o'clock.
All right, so come early. That means a whole half hour more time to sing your heart out. Or point at other people. And then, finally, this is going to be very cool. So I dare you to check this one out. Wine and Words. Brand new event. And I love the concept. We're having fantastic writers at Four Seasons, as well as some seasoned wine lovers. So, guess what? They decided to put them both together for a fabulous evening. Bring your own appetizers and spirits, they're saying. Everyone is welcome, and there's no fee for minutes. But you need to pick up a free ticket at the desk, okay? So you can come. And I dare anybody to bring a bongo drum, because doesn't that set, remember the beatnik days? Fun, and they do poetry, and they have wine, and I don't think that's what they had in mind, but I would love to see someone, just in case, bring a small bongo drum. And that's it. It's going to be a rip-roaring, don't tell them I said that. It's going to be a rip-roaring fun time.
You too.
Did I forget anything? No. All right. See you everywhere.
Next up is the management report and communications from pages 59 through 71. There's no action. There's no questions. We'll keep rolling through the new business as there was no unfinished business. First up in new business on pages 72 through 76 is a proposal from the landscaping committee to remove 4 pine trees that are potentially causing damage to a homeowner's yard on Pipe Springs and Mission Trail. Total cost is $2,000 to remove these 4 trees.
I make a motion that we approve the $2,000 to remove the trees as requested.
I'll second.
It's been moved and seconded to approve the Landscape Committee proposal to remove 4 pine trees from the Pine Springs slope. Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Motion carries.
Thank you. Next on pages 77 through 82 is another proposal from the Landscape Committee to remove 8 trees at the Crooked Creek and Crooked Creek and Highland Springs entrance. Total cost for this is $2,800.
I make a motion that we approve the removal of 8 pine trees at the corner of Crooked Creek and Highland Springs for the total cost of $2,800.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded to approve the proposal from the Landscape Committee to remove the Crooked Creek pine trees at a cost of $2,800. Any discussion?
I got a question. The proposal we had that we just approved, they were charging $500 to remove pine trees. And this one here, they're only charging $350 per tree.
The difference between the two is that the trees on Pipe Springs are larger and they're also on a slope, versus these are smaller trees that are not as inaccessible.
Okay, thank you.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Motion carries.
Thank you. Next on pages 83 through 86 is another proposal from the Landscape Committee. This would be to install and replace plants at the entrances of the courts. Total cost for this project is $4,066.76.
I move that we spend $4,066.76 for landscaping at the courts.
I'll second.
It's been moved and seconded that we approve the Landscape Committee recommendation for installing landscape plants at the entrance to the courts for $4,066.76. Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Motion carries.
Thank you. Next on pages 87 through 89 is a request from the Facilities Committee to change out the cloth rails and some pockets on the 4 pool tables that we have. This will be a reserve expense, and the total cost is $4,639.70. That's one of our most used amenities.
I'll make a motion that we approve the $4,639.70 to recommended by facilities to repair and upgrade the pool tables.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded that we spend $4,639.70 to repair the pool tables. Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Motion carries.
Thank you. Next is a proposal. This is to ratify the actual installation which happened last week. Total cost for the condenser that was not working anymore, not providing cold air to the bistro dining room was $5,358. It's a different proposal than what's in the packet. There was an additional change afterwards.
It's not the one we put in last week.
It is the one we put in last week.
You
This
said
is
a
to
different
ratify.
amount. I said, Derek, what was the amount you said, because you had 4,000 up here?
It changed, there was an additional part that was needed when they came on site, so it increased the contract cost to $5,358.
5,358 even?
Yes.
Okay, I'll make a motion that we approve $5,358 for the carry a 4-ton condenser for the lodge.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded that we approve the installation of the new Carrier 4-ton condenser air conditioner for the lodge. Any discussion?
I would just make one note that that is another reserve expense.
Reserve?
It's a reserve expense.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Motion carries.
Thank you. Next on page 94 is the proposal from the Amphitheater Production Group for the expenditure of $8,500 for all the concerts that
I make a motion that we approve $8,500 for the summer concert series as noted on the board.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded that we approve the recommendation for the Amphitheater Production Group Concert Series for the year 2019 at a cost of $8,500. Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Motion carries.
Thank you. Next on page 95 is a proposal from the Community Ambassador for the National Night Out Program. This will be held on Thursday, July 25th from 5:30 p.m. to 7 p.m. here in the ballroom. It's an annual event that brings it together first responders and civic leaders of the community at large, asking for $295 for dessert, beverages, and supplies for this.
I'll make a motion to approve $295 for the expenses of National Night Out.
It's been moved and seconded that we approve the National Night Out event, which would be on July 25th, 5:30 to 7 p.m. for $295, where we get dessert, beverages, and supplies. All those in favor?
Aye.
Motion carries.
Less calories.
Yes, eat dirt.
Next is a proposal from the management to have reserve studies. The Civil Code requires a reserve study every year. This year we're recommending, per the board's recommendation and request, to have everything tallied and physically counted to do level 1 studies. The Master Association would be $4,700 with pictures. And then the front yard cost center would be $650, and Springdale's would be $1,000 for the studies. The total cost would be $6,350.
Make a motion to accept $6,350 for a complete reserve study for the association.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded that we approve a budget of $6,350 for the reserve management study. Does that come out of the reserve account?
No.
Darn.
We budget for it.
Any other discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Motion carries.
And last is the February financials. The Finance Committee went over that, but and one board member, but the board as a whole will need to approve for December.
I've reviewed them, Aaron.
Yes. Okay.
I'll make a motion that we approve the financial reports as approved by Jolene Cooley and Ed Powers.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded that we approve the financial analysis for February 2019. Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Motion carries.
Thank you. Announcement of the next meeting will be Thursday, May 9th, 1 p.m. here in the ballroom.
Motion to adjourn.
Motion to adjourn.
Moved and seconded. All in favor?
Aye.
Motion carries. We adjourn.
Get out of Dodge.